It's Friday. We made it. Finally, it's Friday. From the third largest city in the United States, Chicago, Illinois, welcome to the Drive with Mario Smith. I am Mario Smith. Thank you all for being passengers on the drive today, Friday, February the 11th, 2022. Congratulations. It's Friday. Joining me is somebody who's probably really tired, but it's the fight we fight, right? It's my man Jay Bliss. Jay Bliss is in Portland, Oregon. Look at him, fresh as ever. Look at you.
How's it going, Mario?
Hey man, how you holding up?
I'm good. I'm
All
good. I've been in this chair. My watch, my Fitbit keeps reminding me that I'm not exercising enough.
Get up, walk around.
So I'm gonna have to take the dog for a walk after the show or something.
Oh, for sure. I watched Hal today. Very, very interesting. Mr. Hal is on it. I didn't know he was out and I guess I should have known this. He's out in Los Angeles where it is blazing hot for December. For February. I just did something else earlier that I was reminded of. This actually is what I'm going to be talking about in a second. I was reminded of December. Yeah, man, this is real. This weather is weird. It's 40 something degrees today in Chicago.
Yeah, same thing. It's been sunny all week, and it's like it was like warm this morning.
Yeah.
I usually have this little space heater on the floor back here because I'm in the garage, and today I don't have it on because it's actually nice and beautiful. I don't know if that's a good thing though.
It
don't
seems
necessarily.
Like it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it is supposed to be. Close to 60 degrees in Oregon in February. So
I'm of the frame of mind in the winter time. It's supposed to be winter.
Yeah.
Am I too low? Now I'm all panicked and freaked out by this stupid chair.
You're a little low, but
am I? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know why. Here we go. Is that better?
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That's perfect.
All right. I had to take the computer out yesterday, and I just want to make sure you can hear me and that, okay.
Yep.
Very good. Before we get started with today's festivities, listen, it's Friday, Bliss. I know we have a show planned, but it's Friday, so it's Friday. It's Friday. I've been waiting on this all week.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. I'm rejuvenated, but I'd like to end this week on a high note so we can take our friends with us into next week, and they'll come back and hang out with us on Monday. When you'll be on a boat.
I will. Yeah.
This is going to be fun. I can't wait to talk to you while you're like, dude, I really don't want to be here right now. I'm on a boat. Oh yeah, it'll be fun. Oh yeah, it should be. It should be a lot of fun. Our friends joining us today on the drive. Amanda is in Vermont. I think this is the first time Vermont is checked in. Our buddy Deborah is in California. Verona's in New Hampshire. Sonny's in Indiana. Benjamin's in Tennessee. Bella is in Northern Virginia. Mia is joining us. Tell us where you're from, Mia. Nathan and sometimes C is in Texas. Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo's in New York. Cole's in South Carolina, and Scott is in North Carolina. Scott with 1 T. Hey, brother, what's happening? Welcome to the drive. I'm Mario. That's Gliss. For my California folks, which is only one today, Deborah so far anyway. What's the weather like? And are you panicked yet? Curious. I had messed up the great question that I had. I don't have it anymore because it's not relevant. The great question I had on Wednesday that I was going to share with everyone. Screwed it up. I messed up. But what I am not going to mess up are our headlines, and I will begin these headlines with a bit of breaking news. The CDC has said that all evidence points to the booster shot losing its effect after 4 months. We're going to read more about it and talk a little bit more about it, but the idea is that if you had your booster shot 4 months after, it pretty much loses all of its punch, and the CDC is thinking about how to suggest a fourth shot. There is a reason, and we will talk more about it in a bit. In other news, the United States has ramped up its efforts against Russia and says that the Russians may invade the Ukraine in days. And also to that, President Biden has ordered 3,000 more troops to Poland amid the Ukraine crisis. The Biden administration today escalated its dire warnings about a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine, saying it could take place within days, even as diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis continued. Got to keep an eye on the Ukraine. There's been a delay for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for kids under 5 years old. The U.S. regulators today put the brakes on their push to speed Pfizer's COVID-19 to children under 5, creating major uncertainty about how soon the shots could become available. The Food and Drug Administration had urged Pfizer and its partner BioNTech to apply for authorization of extra low doses of its vaccine for the younger children before studies were even finished, citing the toll the Omicron variant has taken on children. Next week, FDA advisors were supposed to publicly debate if youngsters should start getting 2 shots before it's clear if they'd actually need a third. But the FDA reversed course and said it had become clear it needed to wait for data on how well that third shot works for this age group. Pfizer said in a statement that it expected the data to be in by early April. And finally, Canadian authorities have turned the pressure up on protesters at the U.S.-Canadian border. The legal and public pressure on protesters to stop their blockade in Ottawa and at the U.S. border, with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau warning this unlawful activity has to end, and it will end. Federal, provincial, and local officials moved simultaneously on different fronts to try to break the so-called Freedom Convoy standoff, which began with truckers and others angry over the country's COVID-19 restrictions and has morphed into a broader outpouring of fury from the right toward Trudeau and his liberal government, cheered on by conservatives in the U.S. And those are the headlines at this hour. When we come back, we will start in earnest to talk about what's going on around the world. And as a reminder, if you're joining us here on Backchannel, remember you can start your day with us at 6 a.m. Eastern with Haley and Allison, and then at 8 a.m. with Liv Harrison. She's awesome. And then our buddies Jam and Renee at 10 a.m. Eastern, Sir Anthony Davis at noon, and your pal Hal at 2 p.m. Eastern time leads you right into the drive, and we take you out on a beautiful note. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate everybody checking us out on the chat, on YouTube, and on your Amazon-supported devices. Thank you so much. This is The Drive with Mario Smith, live on Backchannel.tv, and we'll be back in just a moment. Hey, I didn't. I had my head in something else. I didn't hear the music underneath me. Gliss, I was staring at the screen because I was prepared mentally for this to be happening, but then it happened anyway. It's Friday, man. This is going to be a good one. Today's show is going to be good, guys. We don't have any guests or anything. Well, you guys are our guests. You know what, Gliss? Why don't we make our friends who are watching us and listening to us our guests today?
There you go.
So you guys are all our guests. So that's Tristan. This is your first time on the show. You're a guest. Welcome. Marquise in Washington. Tristan's in Tennessee. Jean, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing your name wrong, and I've probably pronounced it wrong every day, but I appreciate you coming back anyway, is in Oregon. Cole's in South Carolina. Thank you all so much for joining us on the drive today. You all are our guests because we don't have a guest. That's how we're going to do it. You know what? When you run out of ideas, come up with new ones. That's what I was told many years ago by someone great. Yesterday, I ran into an old student of mine. I used to teach poetry and creative writing and stuff here in the city, and ran into one of my old students. Guess where, Gliss? Come on, take a guess, dude. You know where.
At your old job?
Oh no, at a bar. I was sitting in a
That was
bar.
gonna be my second guess.
I was sitting in a bar, and I could hear the guy talking, and I'm like, man, I know that voice. I don't know where I know that voice from, but I know that voice. And the bartender was friends with him, and so the bartender's introducing him to me, and I turn around, and he looks at me, he goes, "What's up, Mario?" I go, "Holy smoke, you're grown. Why are you in here?" So it was really cool. Yesterday was a good day. Um, Ended up being an interesting night. Saw some stuff I probably shouldn't have seen, but I survived, and here I am. I'll tell you about it later. It was wild, super wild. Where do we begin? We should probably start with this COVID update from the CDC. That is it's not alarming, but it is very telling. The COVID booster shots, and this is important, Gliss. You just got your shot.
Yep.
COVID booster shots lose, and I'm reading off my phone. That's why my head is down, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. COVID booster shots lose much of their potency after about 4 months, raising the possibility that some Americans, specifically those at high risk of complications or death, that doesn't mean you, Gliss, may need a fourth dose. Thank God that doesn't mean you. I'm glad you're going to be around. Data published today by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggests preliminary research from Israel and Britain has hinted that protection from booster doses declines within a few months. The data released today offers the first real-world evidence of the mRNA shot's waning power against moderate to severe illness in the United States. The analysis did not include a breakdown by age, and the researchers could not distinguish between a booster shot or a third dose given to It's Friday. I can say the word because I can see it. Immunocompromised persons as part of the primary series. The study focused on people who sought medical care for symptoms of COVID. So if that population was skewed toward older adults or those who have weak immune systems, the booster shots may have seemed less effective than they really are. Other studies have shown that while vaccines may lose some ability to prevent severe illness and hospitalization in adults older than 65, they remain highly protective in younger adults in good health. Federal health officials will need to know who exactly is at high risk, even after 3 doses, before considering recommending a fourth shot. Quote, this is on my buddy. It is. There may be the need for yet again another boost, in this case, a fourth dose boost for an individual receiving the mRNA that could be based on age as well as underlying conditions, Dr. Anthony S. Fauci, the Biden administration's top COVID advisor, told reporters on Wednesday. The CDC had previously published data showing that second and third doses of the Moderna and Pfizer BioNTech vaccines were less effective at fending off the Omicron variant than the Delta variant. Third doses enhanced that protection, at least in the short term. In the new study, a team of researchers funded by the CDC collected data from 10 states between August 26th and January 22nd, 2021. August 26, 2021, January 22nd, 2022. The data include periods during which the Delta and Omicron variants respectively accounted for more than 50% of cases in the country. Okay. It sounds like, and hey, Rosemary, how you doing? Welcome to the show. It sounds like your age group, because I'm in the middle. I ain't out of here yet. I'm in my 50s. You're a young man. You're like a teenager or something with 4 children, which is odd, but fine. I don't know what that means really. It sounds like a fourth booster shot would probably be a thing for older adults and people who are at higher risk of getting sick. I got to be honest with you, and it's not. I am not anti-vaccine or any of that stuff, but I'm a little nervous about doing this 4 times in one lifetime in a small space of time. I mean, so far so good. Everything is working well. I haven't gotten COVID as far as I know. But I don't know, man. A fourth one after that third one was a monster on me. That hurt. And I don't want that again in my life. I'll get it if I have to, but I wish they could be a little bit more specific about what age group the in between is it people 55? I'll be 55 this year. I know. You understand? I understand. But I'm just saying, I really will be 55 years old. I'm a little nervous about that. I appreciate them being forthright and honest about it, but I'm still a little nervous. What about you? You down with this fourth?
I mean,
if I have to take it, it's in March. That's next month.
Yeah. So for you, it's coming up soon.
Right. Yep, yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. I just got my booster, as you mentioned.
Lucky.
I mean, if that's the recommendation, then yes, I would probably do it. But it seems like, as it's been the whole time, this is a very fluid situation, and hopefully they can kind of take this information and see what the next best, like you said, figure out which age group is the ones that really need it. And hopefully we don't have to keep getting booster shots, because I agree that's not ideal for anybody. I'm all for the vaccine, and I'm grateful that this took place and that they were able to find something that's safe and that that I can protect my family with. Right. But yeah, you're starting to ask a lot when it keeps getting extended more and more and more. So hopefully they can find some kind of longer, something that lasts a little longer, that maybe is more like an annual thing. That would be what I would hope for in the not too distant future.
Because a fourth shot is going to make a lot of people absolutely go, no, I am not doing this a fourth time. And and those will be people who've taken the vaccine and people who haven't. They're going to be like, no, I'm not doing this 4 times. So I hope, the hope is whatever their data is telling them, that it is, and this is a terrible thing to say, but I'm saying it, that it's for people who really need it. And that, because the thing is, it sounds like in this world, we're going to have to live with it. Yeah, we're going to have to wear masks, even though we're lifting all the mask mandates and all that. Masks are going to be a thing for a long time. And I think that once a year COVID shot is coming. And it's probably going to come this year, where it is suggested that, look, we think we got it. It's a once a year shot, like the flu shot. You don't have to take it, but if you take it, your chances of dying from COVID are diminished greatly. Just really the same with the flu shot, to be honest with you. But again, no one got the flu because everybody had masks on and were in the house for 2 years. So I don't know, man. We will see. That is something. And in a related story, yet not related, but somehow it is related, there are people who they're calling never COVID people. Some people don't get COVID despite being exposed to the virus. A mystery researchers are trying to unravel. Understanding the small cohort of never COVID people could lead to new vaccine targets or other protections as the world enters the 3rd year of the pandemic. Various possibilities for how these people are protected are being tested. Immune defenses stemming from other infections, human genetics, viral load, or environmental factors. And then there's simple luck. The idea of resistant people may be, quote, very intriguing, close quote, but we don't know very often why someone did or did not get infected in sufficient detail to nail it, said John Brooks, Chief Medical Officer for the CDC's COVID-19 response team. And this story is from Axios, by the way. Using a highly debated method called human challenge study, a British trial deliberately exposed people who were unvaccinated and had no evidence of prior infection by placing a droplet of SARS-CoV-2 in their nose. They found 16 out of 34 participants did not get affected, according to the preprint paper posted recently. The study is small and has not been peer-reviewed, but it appears to support anecdotal evidence that sometimes people in close contact with contagious people are not getting sick or not testing positive for the virus. That's fascinating. So let me ask you guys in our chat, and if you're watching us on and I see Homework has joined the stream. It's Homework's first time here. What's up? Homework is in Africa. Word. What's going on? What part of Africa are you from, Homework? I am mad curious. Africa is humongous. It's not like a city. You know what I'm saying? It's a continent. It's big. What part of Africa are you in? I'd love to. And Homework jumped off as soon as I asked the question. Look at me. But for everybody that's on the chat today, have you had COVID-19 yet? Yes or no? And will you take this fourth shot? Yes or no? If offered the booster, will you take it? And have you had COVID yet? You can ask us by saying the word "say" to your Amazon supported device, or going on YouTube and typing it in, or going on backchannel.tv and joining the chat. That way, you can also leave a review of the show. So, what do you think, Liz? Never COVID people. That's stunning to me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe our whole house is never COVID people, because we've been exposed a couple times and never tested positive. So it would be, I mean, that'd be a good thing to know that at least there's a population of people that, you know, won't get. I mean, that's any of this stuff helps. The the vaccines, the fact that it seems to be the newer strains of the virus seem to be getting a little weaker and a little more like common colds. Like, these are all positive things that hopefully work together to get us to a point where we don't have to worry about it as much in the future.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just playing guitar and doing a little voiceover work while you were talking. I apologize. I am hopeful that I will be able to get this on here without it turning into a whole crazy time. There's talk of a fourth stimulus check, and I'm in on that. And just to show the depth and the impact of this disease, we might. I think we're. If I had to venture a guess, and Lucas Jensen, is that your name? Okay, sure it is. Margie Law says no and yes. No, she hasn't. No. How did I position those questions again? Friday head has set in.
Have you had it, and would you?
Okay, thank you.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Have you had it, and would you get the fourth booster? And Margie says no and yes. Let's check out what the other folks are saying. No, nobody else is saying anything yet. John's in New York, though. John, have you had COVID? And if you, and I hope you haven't. And would you be willing to get a fourth booster shot? So it's yes or no on those two things. I am confident that if we are going to get a fourth check, then that means something bad has happened. Or I know people who are in trouble with their rent and things, that are way behind, and other issues that they need to get taken care of because of COVID. And I think $1,400 more would be nice. You got kids. And a wife, you get a whole, you can build a wing to your building.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, we got a lot from the stimulus packages because of the number of children in our house and all that stuff. But I think people need to remember that a lot of people were in a really bad spot over the last couple of years. And, a lot of those stimulus payments went to things like getting back to being able to keep their head above water.
Right.
Whether it's utilities, mortgage, rent, being able to afford groceries for your family. Childcare is a big thing that people, I think, forget about. Families that were, both parents are working or went back to work, that has an effect on your financial situation a lot. So I think it would be beneficial, because this is something that's, as we've talked about before, it's going to take some time to come out of this the right way. So I think it would be helpful to at least to to the percentage of people that are in that bracket where they really need some of this to help them recover. And as we've talked about, also just getting some stimulus for the economy, for people to be able to go out and go to restaurants and those kind of things that are going to ultimately help the economy as well.
It just seems like people are going to, and I know I already can see it happening. The all clear is going to go out, Bliss. People are going to be super frantic. No more masks. I'm outside again. And the people who can make change and actually help people are going to be like, well, it's okay now.
Right.
without realizing the impact economically and just mentally of what has happened here for the last 2.5 years. This is big time stuff, and it's scary, and it isn't solvable without some help. And it's a big question of what is the government's role in helping to get people back on track. And if that fourth check is the thing, then let it be the thing. Not to mention, for a while there, enjoying unemployment, not really enjoying it, but having it, um, that money helped. The extra money
Yeah.
that Donald Trump put on there, he did like three things that were good. But of the three, that was one of them. And it helped. It helped a
Yeah.
lot of people. It helped people stay in the mix on their rent. And then they took it away. And it's like, well, why would you do that? And
Right.
and and we're still people still can't go to work. People are still scared to send their kids to school. Even now with the remote learning, which doesn't work depending on who you ask, or it does. A little extra money wouldn't hurt. I just think that it would be in the best interest of this country and the people in it if they could catch a break, man. Because it's going to take. If it took 3 years for us to get out of this, and most pandemics are like 3 to 4 years, if it's taking us 3 years, it may take us 10 years to economically be back on the path. I'm not an economist. I'm a consumer and a spender. So I guess that does make me an economist. President Biden's pen has been busy. He signed an order today to free $7 billion in Afghan assets now frozen in the U.S., splitting the money between humanitarian aid for poverty stricken Afghanistan and a fund for September 11th victims still seeking relief from the terror attacks that killed thousands and shocked the world. No money would immediately be released, but Biden's order calls for banks to provide $3.5 billion of the frozen amount to a trust fund for distribution through humanitarian groups for Afghan relief and basic needs. The other 3.5 billion would stay in the US to finance payments from lawsuits by US victims of terrorism that are still working their way through the courts. So that's $7 billion there. Hey, look, September 11th victims, Afghan victims, how about, you know, some American folks, some other people that have been going through some trouble. The United States has urged Canada to use its federal powers to end the bridge blockade. And the reason why this is big news, they want to disrupt the Super Bowl Sunday. And there's talk of them disrupting the State of the Union in a couple of weeks. For the fourth straight day, scores of truckers taking part in what they dubbed the Freedom Convoy blocked the Ambassador Bridge connecting Windsor, Ontario to Detroit, disrupting the flow of auto parts and other products between the two countries. The White House said Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg spoke with their Canadian counterparts and urged them to help resolve the standoff. Federal Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino said Royal Canadian Mounted Police reinforcements are being sent to Windsor, Ottawa, and Coutts, Alberta, where another border blockade is happening. Trudeau met virtually with leaders of Canada's opposition late Thursday and said he spoke to Windsor's new mayor. Trudeau's office said there is a willingness to respond with whatever it takes to end the blockades. Conservative Ontario Premier Doug Ford, meanwhile, moved to cut off funding for the protest by successfully asking a court to freeze millions of dollars in donations to the convoy through crowdfunding site Give, Send, Go. Ford has called the protests an occupation. Canadian officials previously got GoFundMe to cut off funding after protest organizers used the site to raise about 10 million Canadian dollars, 7.8 million US. GoFundMe determined that the fundraising effort violated the site's terms of service due to unlawful activity. With political and economic pressure mounting, Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins announced the city will seek a court injunction to end the occupation. It's going down on the border, man. Did you ever see that movie? What was the movie with John Candy and the U.S.? They faked an invasion of the U.S. from Canada. Oh, what was the name of that movie? I can't remember it, but it's very funny. It's just odd that the Canadians are so angry because they're the nicest human beings you will ever meet in your life. Like, for real. They are so nice. Such a nice group of people. And I was just mentioning that the blockade could hit the Super Bowl, those protests. And a DHS official told Yahoo News today that truckers could follow the Canadian model and shut down Washington as well. The bulletin says DHS has received reports, that's the Department of Homeland Security, has received reports of truck drivers planning to potentially block roads in major metropolitan cities in the United States in protest of, among other things, vaccine mandates for truck drivers. The Super Bowl is Sunday in Los Angeles. The bulletin says the convoy could begin in California as early as mid February and arrive in Washington, D.C. as late as mid March, potentially impacting the game and President Biden's State of the Union address on March 1st. So let me ask you a question, man. This is about people feeling like their rights are being messed with because they won't take the vaccine or they won't wear a mask. Well, what about people who don't think that your rights are being messed with? What about people who don't have a problem? What about people who don't have a problem with you being a protester? Why are you tying up everything for a point that science says maybe taking the vaccine and wearing a mask is not a bad idea? Gliss, do you agree with me? I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, you don't want to wear a mask? Don't. You don't want to get the shot? Don't.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of hitting that point as well. I don't want to say, well, I guess it is a little bit of judgment. I still find some people that refuse them while they're still going on. I find that kind of odd, and I don't really appreciate it that much to put it nicely. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting to that point where it is, if you don't want to wear it, then whatever. I did my part. I'm going to keep doing my part and follow what the recommendations are from the people who know what they're doing. And, I got the vaccine for everyone in my family that was eligible to get it. So I'm doing my part, and whatever other people want to do, that's their business.
Yep, I feel the same way. I say it, and I would say although I don't have a line on anybody in Canada that's in charge, I'd say let them go. Let them go. Let them go. The moment that science is proven right, they'll want to get vaccinated and they'll want to get a mask. You just hope it's not too late. But I'm done trying to fight this fight after 2.5 years. No, you don't want to do it? Don't do it. Let me know that you're not doing it, though, so I can continue to wear a mask around you, because I don't want to get you sick. I still think about you. I still care about you a little bit. I don't want to get you sick. It's crazy, though. This is, man, I have a new grandson. I cannot wait to tell him about this world, boy. He's going to be like, what? How did this happen that I got here? Why am I here now? I don't know. We were talking much earlier in the show, about 30-something minutes ago, about the extreme weather that is happening around the country. Well, an example of weather whiplash is underway in California, where one of the state's wettest months, December, was followed by a bone-dry January into the first part of this month. The state entered the wet season with extraordinary precipitation deficits from a multi-year mega drought, and a dry winter could result in severe water restrictions and another devastating fire soon. The wet December brought hope that water resources could be replenished, given the deep snowpack that built up. Nearly 18 feet of snow fell at the Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Lab, the most ever recorded there in December, and third highest total for any month. Weather patterns changed drastically, with a strong ridge of high pressure across the west. Somebody knocked on my door. From January into early February, causing storms to detour around the state and temperatures to increase. It's as if Mother Nature shut off the tap and turned up the thermostat. The same snow lab has now recorded its longest consecutive stretch of winter days without measurable precipitation on record, with no snow in sight for at least another week. The Super Bowl is going to be 80-something degrees in Inglewood, California this weekend. That's hot. That's not even remotely comfortable for football. It's going to be hot. It's going to be 20-something this weekend in Chicago. It's 40 today. Out east, it's 53 degrees in Philly or something like that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Gliss is enjoying sunshine. You're going on a cruise. It's going to be hot.
I hope so. I mean, I would expect the Bahamas to be warmer though. So
I just keep wanting to, it's almost over, brother. You'll be leaving soon and flying off, enjoying yourself, drinking
yeah,
those drinks. Will you make me a promise? It's not. I should have asked you this off the air, but make me a promise on
yeah,
Monday. Monday, make sure you have a drink with an umbrella, a paper umbrella in it.
okay, yeah,
All
I
right.
can do that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I will, in solidarity, drink water here in Chicago, but you'll be whatever on a boat. Nah, I'm not on a stupid boat out here fighting
I'll try
crime.
to bring it. I'll try to bring it to the show because it'll be 4 o'clock there
Yeah.
because I'll be on the East Coast.
Yeah,
So it'll
you
be
will.
perfect time for one of those drinks.
I know you a little bit, brother. I got you. Hey, you want to hear something fun?
Yeah.
Okay, there are two things that are fun. One, we're going to present to the people a little bit, and that would be Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a kook of the highest order of kookiness. But Maggie Haberman has come out with a new book called Confidence Man. I don't know if anybody knows about this. It's Confidence Man, the making of Donald Trump and the breaking of America. Maggie Haberman writes for the New York Times. Great writer, very interesting writer. I mean, I go with the great, very interesting. And she, in her book, she intimates something awesome, awesome to me, and just it is the signature of the Trump administration, in my opinion. While President Trump was in office, staff in the White House residence periodically discovered wads of printed paper clogging a toilet and believed the president had flushed pieces of paper. Maggie Haberman scoops in her forthcoming book, Confidence Man. The revelation by Haberman, whose coverage as a New York Times White House correspondent was followed obsessively by Trump, adds a vivid new dimension to his lapse in preventing government and preserving government documents. Um, Trump has told people that since leaving office, he has remained in contact with North Korean leader Kim Jong un, whose, quote, love letters, close quote, as Trump once called them, were among the documents the National Archives retrieved from Mar a Lago. The news of White House toilet flushing comes as the National Archives has reportedly asked the Biden Justice Department to examine Trump's handling of White House records amid the congressional investigation into the January 6th assault on the Capitol. The Washington Post reports that National Archives officials suspected Trump had possibly violated laws concerning the handling of government documents. The National Archives later retrieved 15 boxes from Mar a Lago, the Post reported. Archives officials found possible classified material in the returned boxes, the New York Times has learned. While in office, the former president blithely flouted the Presidential Records Act, which required him to preserve written communications concerning his official duties. Trump routinely tore up documents and, after leaving office, brought substantial written materials back to Mar a Lago. A Trump spokesman didn't respond to a request for comment about the plumbing matter. You better know that Donald Trump.
Oh man, it really is Friday.
It's Friday, brother, because we're talking about toilets and Trump. Go figure. Yeah, he was flushing paper down the toilet in the White House. What
I
is
mean,
going
I'm not
on, man?
surprised,
No.
but that's why it just makes me shake my head. It's just like we had the story the other day of all the boxes of documents hanging out at his house, and now
Mhm.
this. It's just like it never ends.
Hey, man, they're saying that there were documents that were marked top secret that he took with him out of the White
Gosh,
House. I think it's great. Anything that can end this horrible time without something bad happening to him. I mean, like physically bad.
right?
Anything that can end it is great. I don't wish anything horrible on anybody because I don't want
No,
anyone wishing on me. That's just some old school stuff. But that dude there, man, he is a piece of work, I believe is what they call people like him. Piece of work.
something like that.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, we are going to talk to our friends who are joining us in the chat. And we're going to, and I will read the Adidas story, Gliss, I promise. And we are going to, because I think that's interesting that that's happening. And we'll have our community report too. And that knock on the door was something being delivered for me. So I need to go and grab it. And I'll do that as I let you behind the curtain of my life. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Drive, everybody. I'm Mario Smith. Thank you for watching Backchannel.tv and YouTube TV, not YouTube TV. That would be cool. Watching YouTube, or watching us on YouTube and on your Amazon supported devices. What you all didn't see was me run from one end of my house to the other as I heard music come on. I got a little nervous, but I put all the perishable things in the refrigerator. Thank you. Your dream came true. A delivery came while doing the show.
I know, right? Yeah, I was actually, I have a mini fridge in my garage. But it's beyond this area. It's really, really dark out there. And so I went to go get a sparkling water, and there was a sparkling water and there was a beer, and I grabbed the wrong one.
You grabbed the beer?
I grabbed the beer, so it was about to get a little more exciting over here.
It would have been an interesting show.
Yeah, then I realized, I'm stick with the water for now.
It might be frowned upon. I brought my trusty pomegranate lemonade tea.
There you go.
It's cold because it just came from the store. I also have like a deep dish pizza. Real quick, I'm a Chicagoan, and Tavern Cut is the pizza that people eat in Chicago. Don't you believe that deep dish noise? But I haven't had a deep dish pizza in a long time, and I felt like today being adventurous. Also, I have to go somewhere late tonight, and this will take me from the end of this show right up to, with the pizza on. I don't have any drinking accessories except this pomegranate tea and water. I'm gonna try to keep it together until I get to this other thing later this evening.
So what's a tavern cut pizza?
So tavern cut pizza, it's thin and it's cut in squares.
Okay. I like that.
That's right, because
I
it's
like that.
better than
Yeah.
deep dish. Because deep dish is a pizza cake.
Yeah, it's like a mix between pizza and lasagna or something like that.
Yeah, and people love it when
Yeah.
they come to Chicago, and it's delicious. Don't get me wrong, but a
Yeah.
tavern cut, it's just an easier way to deliver it. It's an easier way to present it. It's
Yeah.
easier to eat. This weekend there'll be so much tavern cut pizza being eaten while the Super Bowl is taking place. It's going to be pathetic. Milo's here, or Lindsay, or Jack. Your dog, your son, or your wife. One of those three people are here. Melody, Finley, Danielle, Olivia, Michael. Thank you all. Milo, of course, in Oregon. Ashley's in Washington State, I believe. Michael's in Wisconsin. Johnson, New York. Thank you guys. We have a special story about a special man from Wisconsin, Michael. Well, he's not from there. Whatever. The names I made for him, I now have messed Gliss's head up forever. he's, he's such a guy. We have a couple of stories that are a little troubling. One I didn't get to about the Federal Express driver who got shot at by another father son duo in Mississippi. He wasn't hurt, but now the police are trying to act like this didn't happen. It's wild. But there's another story taking place at Purdue University where a young man was arrested and the police started choking him. And this is from West Lafayette, Indiana. The Purdue Police Department, the Purdue University Police Department, is responding after video of a student being arrested went viral. The incident happened February 4th when police say a caller told them it appeared a woman was being held against her will near Horticulture Drive. A video from Fox 59 got obtained by a bystander appears to show Purdue police responding to the scene. In the video, the male student can be seen on the ground with a Purdue police officer on top of him. The man can be heard screaming repeatedly, "You're choking me." A woman can also be heard saying, "Get your elbow off his neck." And there's a video which we won't show, but it's pretty messed up. Purdue University crime logs show an arrest was made at 8:57 p.m. Friday in the general location of Horticulture and Harrison Drives. The arrest was listed as resisting law enforcement, dating violence. Purdue University Police Chief John Cox released a statement on the incident, saying in part, "Anytime a PUPD officer uses force in connection with an arrest, the department conducts an internal review." PUPD commenced that review, led by Deputy Chief Leslie White, immediately upon receiving the officer's report Friday night. Cox says witness statements will be taken into account as well officers' body-worn cameras. The footage from the body-worn cameras will reportedly be made available along with other evidence when the review is complete. Students said Thursday they were shocked when they saw the video. "It's just tough to watch," said Anna Schnifke. A freshman said. Students say with incidents like George Floyd and other cases of police violence against Black Americans, it's sad to see it happening this close to home. I think people are just disappointed that this happened once yet again, and especially in our own community. It's really hard to see. According to Purdue police, no one was physically injured in the incident. Thursday afternoon, yesterday, Purdue University President Mitch Daniels issued the following statement. Quote, "There are no subjects Purdue takes more seriously than campus safety, student well-being, and proper police conduct. On Friday evening, February 4th, police received a bystander report of a suspected assault on a woman, prompting an officer's urgent response. Immediately upon learning of the use of force during our police officer's response, we ordered an investigation, including not only the required review of the officer's actions the officer's actions as is standard procedure under Purdue University police policies, but also witness interviews and the release of all video evidence, including body-worn and in-car camera footage. The inquiry into the police officer's handling of the situation will be swift and thorough as an additional step. Following the internal review, the Indiana State Police will immediately commence an independent review of the PUPD investigation and video evidence. Should there be a finding of misconduct by the officer, appropriate action will be taken promptly. In the spirit of transparency, once the Purdue Police and Indiana State Police reviews are complete, all findings and evidence, including all video evidence from body-worn cameras, in-car camera footage, dispatch calls, and witness interviews will be made available. We ask for your patience as the investigation moves forward, and again, we'll communicate findings as soon as they are available. So you have that in Purdue University in Indiana. Why do you need to put your foot or any part of your body on a human being's neck unless you feel like he's getting ready to shoot you? You've got him on the. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Do we not learn our lessons when we see George Floyd or when we saw Ahmaud Arbery? Or I could go. It's a lot of names. I got till 5 o'clock Central Time. You know what I'm saying? Buddy. All right, one more horrible story, and then we're going to. It's going to be a story that'll warm Bliss's heart. This one will not. 5 officers shot suspect dead after a standoff at a Phoenix home, and there was a rescue of a baby. 9 police officers are injured, and the suspect is dead after a shooting and standoff that involved a person barricaded inside a Phoenix home, police said today. 5 of the officers were shot, and 4 were hurt by bullet ricochet or shrapnel. Another person, a woman, is in critical condition. The incident unfolded when police responded to a 911 call overnight saying a woman was shot. An officer approached the home and was invited inside. As he approached the doorway, he was ambushed by the suspect and shot multiple times, said Phoenix Police Sergeant Andy Williams. A man later came to the door holding an infant, then placed the baby on the ground and walked away from the home with his hands up, at which point police detained him. Police officers moved in to get the baby, and 4 other officers were shot. A SWAT team responded to the scene and found the suspect dead inside. A woman, the suspect's former girlfriend, was found critically injured. Police said the man and woman have a child together and that the infant at the scene is believed to be their child. All officers who were hurt are expected to recover. A reporter with CBS affiliate KPHO TV said the scene was much calmer after the threat was over. She tweeted photos showing holes in the home's second-story windows. Wow. Phoenix, be easy. Here's a story from your neck of the woods, Mr. Gliss. The Portland Pickles need your help. Are you familiar with this? Their mascot, Dylan T. Pickle, has been stolen.
Uh-oh.
Might we be able to show a picture of Mr. Dylan T. Pickles?
Yeah, I can get a picture of yeah. Give me just a minute here.
I just think this bike is fascinating. It's a lovely looking bike. But the look on Dylan T. Pickles' face, he's doing something outside of the baseball world. And they may want to when they find him, maybe get him a new face. He looks like I don't want to say he looks like he's been enjoying himself.
I've met Dylan.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Dylan. We hung out one time.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah, when I worked in sports radio, I got sent there by the station once to do some crowd hyping and give away football tickets, and
nice.
So I hung out with him.
Dylan T. Pickles. All right, Mr. Pickles, if you can see his face, he looks very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very engaged, very happy to be anywhere, alive. He's not touching the pedals on the bike. He's just living his life.
He does have kind of a creepy face.
That's the creepiest face on a mascot I've seen next to the gritty thing.
As my kids would say, he looks sus.
Yo, super sus. Yeah. Oh, I love your children. He does look sus. Major. Look at that. He's a buff pickle. But his face, he looks mischievous, like he's going ha all the time, like he's playing some kind of crime. So I'm going to read the story. I didn't write this, so don't get mad at me. It's full of corniness. Now, here we go. And just key in on that face of his. We don't relish telling you this, but it's kind of a big deal. The Portland Pickles baseball team says their beloved mascot Dylan T. Pickle has been stolen and are seeking the public's help in bringing him home safe. Dude, if that pickle walks out of your garage, Gliss, I will applaud for a half hour straight. That would be awesome. I know you didn't steal it, but just you know what I'm saying. What if he's hiding? Dylan T. Pickles. Here we go. It all started in the Dominican Republic, as where all great stories start, where Dylan was making an appearance at a Caribbean baseball series. He was due to return to Oregon via New York City on January 31st. A week later, the team tweeted out some jarring news. An alert message from Delta showing that the bag he was traveling in had been lost somewhere at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Quote, you win one championship this century and think you're too good for storage on a plane. The Collegiate Summer League team tweeted to its 29,000 followers. As the days passed, the team put out multiple APBs, which we assume stands for All Pickles Bulletin, sharing missing posters and calls for help across social media. For example, the team stressed multiple times that the whole thing wasn't just a prank gone sour, because as member station OPB reports, Dylan the Pickle has a reputation for hijinks. Still, team officials are assuring the public that that they're not gherkin around, gherkin anyone's chain. We're definitely known for being funny and joking around a lot of social media, so we understand the kind of boy who cried wolf scenario, Assistant General Manager Parker Huffman told OPB. But this is definitely not a joke. Dylan's story took a turn on Thursday when the team shared that Delta had found the mascot and delivered him to their office, but after hours and without any notification. Instead of being welcomed back with open arms, Dylan was snatched from the front porch around 5 a.m. local time and carried away into the unknown. Ring doorbell footage shows a man wearing a jacket, hat, over-ear headphones, and a backpack, all the things I own, but I don't live in Portland, grabbing the canvas bag and walking down the building steps. The team also shared a map of the scene in response to skeptics' questions about why an office building would have a porch and a front fence. Oh, this is turned from a mistake by Delta into a crime, the Pickles tweeted. They are calling on the people of Portland, and so am I, to aid in Dylan's safe return, offering a reward for information and a no questions asked return. Oh, Huffman also filed a police report. The Portland Police Bureau confirmed to OPB. He told the station that Dylan is priceless and estimated it would cost $1,000 or more to replace the costume. Local journalists, sports fans, elected officials, concerned bystanders, and even other anthropomorphic mascots are amplifying the search and sharing messages of support on social media as the team continues its plea for help. Seriously, he is going to tell someone that he stole a pickle mascot that cannot be kept a secret, it tweeted. Do the right thing. Meanwhile, the team laments its fermented loss and continues its pleas for help. One of those tweets is, we call on the people of PDX to help us find him. We are offering a reward for any information and a no questions asked return of Dylan to our office. But look at the picture of him. He looks so crazy. I hope they find him so bad. Oh. This is awesome.
This is such a Portland story. Like
it is. Everywhere I've never been, and I know it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the tweet also has the ring footage of the man taking the mascot. If I was a Portland Pickle, I would wear that thing every day. Are you kidding me? I would have got on the plane with it on. I don't want to have. Come on, Portland Pickles. Dylan T. Pickle is a beloved figure in that town. Thank you for showing that, Gliss. That's awesome. Oh man. Hey, we should gear up Marjorie Taylor Greene too. Not now. We can do it after the entertainment news.
Yeah, for sure.
God,
I thought that was all the entertainment we needed for today.
Actually, that might be it. You know, we may only do one story, and that will be her doing that. What a nut. Anyway, man, I hope everybody in Portland, tell your people if you have any. Or someone said, "What's the point of this?" I don't know. And Zach said, "Hello, hi." I don't know what the point of them stealing a mascot. I don't know. I've done crazy stuff in my life, but I've never stolen a mascot. Niall is in Missouri. Hey, thank you for joining us on the drive today. We appreciate it. It's Friday. I told you. We're going to come back in a moment and try to calm down. I am after talking about Dylan T. Pickle, who I hope they find him. It's the drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. We will be back with our headlines in just a moment. Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the drive. Or if you're just joining us, welcome to the drive on Backchannel.tv. Something in my eye. It's called Friday. Welcome back to Backchannel.tv. If you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube or listening to us on your Amazon supported device, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today. We are a humble little program with my man Jay Bliss, who is in Portland, Oregon. What's up, Bliss?
Not much.
It's almost over, brother. It's almost over.
No, I just had a window in my way, so I was trying to navigate over to turn my camera on. So,
oh, I didn't know. I'm because I was reading, and now I can't stop looking at this picture of this missing pickle and him pointing. If you scroll down on it, it's a better picture of his face. I'm going to save this forever. I am now a Portland Pickles fan. I've never seen them play a game, but I'm in. I'm all in. We welcome everybody that's watching us on the chat too. Theodore just joined the stream. Burak asked, "What is the point of this?" That's a great question. You mean the show? I don't know. About the pickle? Any of it? I don't know. That's a great question. That is a really good question.
It's like a philosophical.
I mean, really, it is an existential question. What is the point of any of this? So that, you know what, you win. You're the passenger of the day. You get to buy us all donuts and stuff on our trip, our road trip. Itzhak says hello, and I say hello back. Thank you. And Rosalie, I believe here's Rosalie's name. I hope I said that right. Just joined the stream too. Elsa and Jay, thank you all. Barack does say hi. So good. Thanks. I don't know what the point of any of this is, but I tell you, if you could just find that story, it's on NPR.com about the Portland Pickles, and just scroll down at the end and look at that man doing this. It is gold. It is television gold. Oh man! All right. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I checked out 12 hours ago. I'm just here so I don't get fined, so to speak. The U.S. ramps up its Ukraine warning, says that Russia may invade in days. The Biden administration on Friday escalated its dire warnings about a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine, saying it could take place within days, even as emergency diplomatic efforts continued. In a reversal, the FDA has put brakes on its COVID-19 shots for kids under 5 years old. And a Canadian judge, in breaking news, a Canadian judge orders an end to the blockade at Border Bridge. A judge today ordered protesters at the Ambassador Bridge over the U.S.-Canadian border to end the 5-day-old blockade that has disrupted the flow of goods between the two countries and forced the auto industry on both sides to roll back production. It was not immediately clear when or if law enforcement officers would be sent in to remove the demonstrators who parked their pickups and other vehicles in a protest against the country's COVID-19 restrictions and an outpouring of fury toward Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his Liberal government. Chief Justice Jeffrey Morowitz of the Ontario Superior Court said during a virtual hearing that the order would be effective at 7 p.m. to give protesters time to leave. Windsor police immediately warned that demonstrators blocking the streets could be subject to arrest and their vehicles may be seized. Whoa, it's going down in Canada, Gliss. Folks better be careful.
It is.
Man, do I know anybody living there still? I know one that I can't talk to. I know one person in Toronto, but that's crazy. Let's. What are we doing here?
Just
entertainment
real
time?
quick. There's your other picture.
Yes, man. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. That's my new guy, Dylan T. Pickle.
Well, we got to find him. We got to track him down.
Hey, man, I am imploring the people of Oregon, please have a heart. Sir, whoever took it, come on, man. Just give the damn pickle back, huh? What are you going to do with that mascot? Where are you going to go without someone going, oh, my God, there's Dylan T. Pickle?
Right, yeah. I mean, it's not like you're not going to stand out. I mean, I don't understand the logic here. Yeah.
That is the most ridiculous idea in the world. You stole a beloved figure. You're not going anyplace. Not with that. But you could definitely get into places with that, I bet. Because I have to imagine Dylan is like the man in Portland. God. Hey, man, let's get to the entertainment stuff. We're a little behind. It's time to explore the wonderful world of entertainment in a segment we like to call Have No Fear, the Camera's Here. Hey, everybody. I know we just left, but we're back again. It's time to talk some entertainment news. And this is a it's a sadder story. It's about Bob Saget. By virtue of us not being with you yesterday, we weren't able to talk about this, but actor and comedian Bob Saget, who died recently, had COVID-19, but died as a result of blunt head trauma, according to the autopsy report released by the Orange County Medical Examiner's Office. Quote, it is in my opinion that the death of Robert Saget, a 65-year-old white male found unresponsive in a hotel room, is the result of blunt head trauma. It is the most probable that the decedent suffered an unwitnessed fall backwards and struck the posterior aspect of his head. The manner of death is accident, close quote. The statement from Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Joshua D. Stepney said in his report. The official findings echo what was said in a statement released by Saget's family on Wednesday, in which they cited head trauma as the cause of death. The report noted that a PCR test showed that Saget, 65, was also positive for COVID-19. Saget, who died in his Orlando, Florida hotel room last month, had said in December that he had COVID-19, and PCR tests can return positive results for weeks after recovery. The autopsy also noted he had an enlarged heart, 95% blocked on one side. No alcohol was present in his system, according to the report. However, the report stated his systems contained clonazepam, which is taken for seizures, panic disorders, and anxiety. Additionally, the antidepressant trazodone, I do not know how to pronounce any pill names, I'm sorry, was found in Saget's system, the report said. That is sad news, man. I really like Bob Saget. That is tough. That is super tough. Futurama is back. Are you happy? I'm happy. Futurama is brilliant. Nearly 10 years after it signed off, Futurama has been revived for a 20-episode run on Hulu, the platform for the animated comedy from the third platform for the animated comedy from creators Matt Groening and David X. Cohen. The series that aired its first 5 seasons on Fox before being revived for 3 more at Comedy Central will return to production this month for a 2023 premiere. Following an extended deal making period, original stars Billy West, who played Fry, Katie Seagal, who played Leela, along with ensemble players who voiced multiple characters, Tress McNeil, Maurice LaMarche, Lauren Tom, Phil Lamar, and David Herman will return. John DiMaggio, who provided the voice behind the wisecracking robot with the shiny metal ass, Bender, is finalizing a deal to return as well, though it has not yet closed. Um, I'm thrilled to have another chance to think about the future, or really anything other than the present, Cohen said. Added groaning, it is a true honor to announce the triumphant return of Futurama one more time before we get canceled abruptly again. Futurama was a good show, man. I like it. Bliss, I don't know if you're a cartoon dude, but I'm a big fan. Loved it.
Yeah, me too. Love Futurama. Love Matt Groening.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
The Simpsons has been on 30-something years.
30, I believe it's in season 33 or 34.
I think so. Season 34. That's wild. That's a crazy. long time for a cartoon to be on television.
But yeah, and he grew up in Springfield, just outside of Eugene, Oregon.
Oh wow!
Which is hence the name Springfield in the show. But some people might not know that I'm sure a lot of Simpsons fans do. All of the characters in the show are actually named after streets in Portland.
I did not know that. Really?
Yeah, every single one of pretty much every single character that's in any significance is named after a street in Portland. And his sister his sister's name actually is Maggie, and she works for one of our local news stations
wow,
as a producer.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. I have to read this about my buddy Kanye West, formerly known as Kanye. Ye West took to Instagram yesterday to call out Billie Eilish. She's a child. You beefing with a kid? What's wrong with you? It's just so depressing, man. For comments she made at a recent show about concert safety, which West apparently perceived were targeted at rapper and Astroworld Festival founder Travis Scott. Despite Eilish never having mentioned Scott, West posted on Instagram a screenshot from hip-hop account at RapCTV that reads, quote, Billie Eilish dissed Travis Scott at her concert after she stopped the show to give her fan an inhaler. I wait for the people to be okay before I keep going. Responding in his own caption, West wrote, come on, Billy, we love you. Please apologize to Trav and to the families of the people who lost their lives. No one intended this to happen. West added, Trav didn't have any idea of what was happening when he was on stage and was very hurt by what happened. And yes, Trav will be with me at Coachella, but for now, I need Billy to apologize before I perform. A couple of hours after he posted, Eilish responded in the comments, quote, literally never said a thing about Travis, was just helping a fan, close quote, she wrote. Both Eilish and West are scheduled to headline with Coachella Festival in April. Perhaps not coincidentally, it looks like West will be appearing with Alicia Keys on a 5-0 Foreign song dropping Thursday night. During her February 5th concert at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Eilish paused the show after seeing a distressed fan in the audience. Quote, do you need an inhaler? To who needs it? Close quote, Eilish said, pointing to the crowd. Quote, do we have an inhaler? Can we just grab one? Guys, give it some time. Don't crowd. We're taking care of our people. Hold on. I wait for people to be okay until I keep going. West and Eilish are both set to headline this year's Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival, held in Indio, California from April 15th through 17th and 22nd to 24th. Scott was originally booked as a headliner, but was removed from the festival following the Astroworld tragedy, which left 10 concertgoers dead and hundreds injured. How was she dissing him?
She wasn't.
She wasn't.
Well, the funny thing about this is there's a video of it. Like I've seen the video. I mean, she doesn't. It's really she's just taking a moment to make sure that this person's okay. They get them an inhaler, and that's about all that happened there. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was something he had heard that it was out of context or something like that. But
He also just put out a new song. I think it's called "City of Gods," in which this is Pete Davidson. But that's a different reason why he's mad at him. dude. If I could talk to him, if I could just if I can, I know the guys that are closest to him. If I could just get one of them on the phone, and I would tell them, hey man, you got to tell him to stop doing stuff like that. Let don't talk. Don't talk in public anymore. No more Instagram, no more social media for a while. Just concentrate on your music, concentrate on figuring out a way to work this out with your ex-wife, and stop talking. You're dissing Billie Eilish is not 20 years old. She's not even 18 years old. She's a little kid. Oh man.
Have you seen the interview he did years ago on Sway in the Morning with Sway?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he pretty much essentially does, and he got. I mean, he was getting irritated with Kanye.
Sway was
and he was keeping it real. He was like, he was straight up telling him on air, like, you don't got to do all this, like, you know.
Yeah. Sway is one of them guys. You better be careful. I mean,
yeah,
he was cool.
That was a captivating interview, and
one of the best.
He needs more people like that are telling, just kind of nudging him, like, come on, man.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing? Cut it out. I tell you, Sway will throw hands though. He came very close to showing Kanye West where he from.
Yeah, I've never seen the look like that look that he had. That was the first. Like, because Sway's a cool guy. Like, I mean,
I know some folks that know him a little bit, and he's like the nicest dude you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's from New York.
Yeah,
be cool. Just be cool. So yeah, man, I would love to, and I may even try it, man, just to reach out to one of the guys that I know and just be like, hey, man, is anybody telling him no? Anybody? Right. Is anybody saying to him no? Just Kanye, no. Stop. Billie Eilish, I cannot get over that. Billie Eilish is harmless. And what was she gained by dissing him?
Nothing. I mean, she's one of the biggest pop stars in the world right now. She has nothing to worry about. It's like I don't know why she would be, saying anything like that.
That is just bananas. Hyro has joined the stream, and thank you, Greg, Mike, George. Someone's testing. Looks like Neeler. Theodore's on the stream, and I can't stop looking at what is the point of this. I'm gonna make a T-shirt.
another T-shirt idea.
Yeah, we need to keep a file of T-shirt ideas. Yesterday on my terrestrial show, I played a little bit of Prince, and then I saw this report, which we were talking about his estate a couple of weeks ago, how it would seem like it was undervalued.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This is in Variety. As the Prince estate moves forward after years of confusion following the singer's 2016 death, the 6 heirs are divided into 2 camps. The 3 siblings who sold their interests to Primary Wave and the 3 who have retained their holdings. With the value of the estate recently determined at $156.4 million, the 2 parties are now establishing a structure for how to work together. In a ruling on Tuesday, a Minnesota judge decided against Primary Wave's proposal to create a single holding company. Instead, the holdings will be distributed equally to the 2 camps, who will likely set up separate holding companies. Primary Wave and the 3 siblings and their advisors, L. Wandell McMillan and Charles Spicer, who are said to hold a stake in the estate. On Tuesday, Judge Kevin E. said he would not order the siblings to contribute their share to a business entity against their wishes. The heirs have waited for almost 6 years to have some control over how the Prince estate moves forward. He's been dead 6 years. Wow. The court will not, by choice, order that their share of the estate be turned over to a single holding company. However, Eid said he will not grant final approval until the 2 sides formally agree on a workable management structure. Quote, it would not be equitable for one heir to withhold their assent to business opportunities that bind the other heirs or diminish the value of estate assets, close quote. He wrote, quote, the court will require that the management structure be in place before distribution. There is little question that the formidable legal complications in Prince's estate have hampered the estate's ability to capitalize on the value of his music and holdings. While the estate has released several expertly curated reissues and compilations of his music, it has done so at a significantly slower pace than Bob Dylan's or David Bowie's catalogs, and multiple opportunities beyond recorded music, from musicals to biopics to clothing lines to destination Las Vegas shows, have remained underrealized thus far. You know what, man? All I know is that Prince's vault has songs in it that people have never heard, hundreds of songs, maybe even thousands of them. Some of them he didn't want people to hear, but some of them he was ready to fix up and do things. Find Jimmy Jam, find Terry Lewis, find Sheila E., find the engineer that engineered Sign of the Times, and get in that vault. That's what I want to hear. I don't care about a Las Vegas show. Not a Prince hologram. That would freak me out too. Just do it.
Oh. Yeah, I'd take some more Prince anytime.
Anytime. Why not?
Like, yeah, if he's got some in the bank, let's
go.
open it up. Yeah.
Let's go. Look, I don't have a vault, but I got Prince right here. Come on. We'll come back with sports. Now I'm angry. I'm mad about that damn pickle, and I'm mad about Prince. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. Thank you to all our passengers today on The Drive. It's Friday, man. We come back with sports in just a moment. Me and Jay Bliss, you're watching The Drive on Backchannel.tv. Moving right along. So that empty Soldier Field list, the mayor got on the radio here in Chicago today and said she wants to put a roof on it. I just want you to know, Soldier Field is as big as your garage, and there's no point in putting a roof on it. Build a new one. There are locations around the city that they could actually use to build a new stadium, and the Bears are dying to get out of their agreement with the Chicago Park District and move to Arlington Heights, a suburb where most of their fans come from to watch the Bears play. In correlation to where I live, I'm right by Lakeshore Drive. The stadium is literally 20 minutes away from my house. 20 minutes. I can catch a bus right to the museum campus and walk into Soldier Field.
How old is that stadium?
A zillion and five. That place was up as a monument to World War I heroes. So I want to say it's been there since the 20s, maybe the 30s.
Wow.
And then they redid it, and they didn't do it right. as all Chicago built. Look, the home of modern architecture, Chicago, Illinois, has two buildings that just mystify everybody. That's one of them. The other is the State of Illinois building. Helmut Hahn, the building that was in Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, one of my favorite movies. That building is crazy too. But Soldier Field used to hold 100,000 people or something like that. And they shrunk it, and then they put some on top of it. It's like they tried to preserve the columns. They could have went a little bit further south and built a brand new everything. So the mayor got on the radio this morning, and made some far out claim that she has compelling financial reasons for the Bears to stay in Chicago. When she's not mayor anymore, that's when they'll get it resolved. So time is running out. The Bears are going to leave. Let them leave. But I feel like time is running out. Jeremy Giambi died. Jason Giambi's brother. Yeah. And they're suspecting. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I get this all correct. And it came as a shock to me yesterday. They're saying that he died by suicide. Law enforcement officials received a call at 11:40 a.m. on Wednesday and found the ex-Major League Baseball player deceased at his family home. Few additional details have been released. Giambi played for 6 seasons in the major leagues from 1998 to 2003 for the Royals, Phillies, Red Sox, and A's, the latter alongside his brother Jason, a 5-time All-Star. Jeremy was traded from Oakland in 2002, which was dramatized in the film Moneyball. Decent career in the majors. Wasn't bad. But suicide. That's wild. That is wild. Yeah, I heard that yesterday, man, and it just caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Not expecting to hear that. It's terrible. So he was only 47 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that. And anytime you hear someone that dies that way, it's always, a little bit of a gut punch. That's, definitely a sad story for his family.
Yeah. Well, baseball might happen after all, my friend.
I hope so.
It might. Yesterday, or was it yesterday? I don't even know what day of the bloody week it is. But yesterday, I do know it's Friday. Manfred, the worst commissioner on earth, Rob Manfred, held a press conference on Thursday. That would be yesterday, which many anticipated would involve a delay to spring training. Not so, apparently. Thus, we can still cling to a sliver of hope that there will be actual baseball happening in a few weeks. When asked about spring training specifically, Manfred said that there was currently no change to the schedule and that Major League Baseball is still planning for opening day on March 31st, giving off a drastically different tone than after last week's heated meeting. And is this posturing by ownership to cast players in a villainous light? Probably. Saturday's meeting, which, thank God they're meeting again, will continue to focus on core economic issues such as the collective bargaining tax, pre-arbitration bonus pool, and minimum salaries. It will be interesting to see how these talks progress given the large gap between the two sides in relation to these issues and the fact that ownership has presented exactly one proposal to the MLBPA since locking players out last year. During Thursday's press conference, Manfred was asked if owning an MLB team is a good investment. His response was a bit amusing, saying that owning a team is, quote, riskier than the stock market. See what I mean, Gliss? Why? Why is this happening? Oh, and he used the White Sox in it, too. The stock market claim was an odd statement, considering the rate of return for owning a team versus the stock market. Using the White Sox as an example. We crunched some numbers to get an idea of what the rate of return would look like. The White Sox were originally purchased for $19 million in 1981 and are now valued at $1.685 billion, an 18.12% rate of return. The rate of return from the stock market is 11.87% since 1981. So if I had Jerry Reinsdorf's kind of money, I'd say that the rate of return from investing in a team seems significantly better than investing into the stock market, but you do you, Rob. Like a nut. So they meet tomorrow. They've agreed on a universal DH, though. I like that.
Yeah, I warmed up to it over the years. I'm mostly a National League guy, being a Giants fan, but
yeah,
but I've warmed up to it, and I kind of got on board with that over the last year or two because I think it's I think they're doing a lot of things to try to make the game a little more exciting and kind of bringing people. So I'm okay with them making some changes like that if it's going to improve the overall quality of the game. So
I think it's great for older Major League Baseball players who are probably approaching retirement. That extends their life a little bit in Major League Baseball. It gives, let me see, your Kyle Schwarbers have extra life. Oh man, Kyle Schwarber on the south side of Chicago with the White Sox, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
not gonna happen, but that would be awesome.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, that's one thing that's always been kind of a downer as a Giants fan is when there is someone out there like that, you don't really have an opportunity as a National League team because those kind of players are going to go to an American League team where they can, be a designated hitter.
And I think about Edgar Martinez every time I hear the term DH or Frank Thomas toward the end of his career. Edgar Martinez was a monster and played way longer than he should have, but it was the DH that saved him. Hey, did you hear about the Wisconsin Dog Man? He won an award last night.
I did.
Won the MVP of the league in a Dijon mustard-colored suit. Not to disparage any of our Wisconsin fans. I'm just saying the dog man strikes again. Hey, Kobe and Tiana and Adeline and Manan. Reading. I will work on it over the weekend. Yeah, he got up there and he's I just want to thank everybody because shut up, get out of my division. Go to the Broncos. He's gonna stay in Green Bay. You know that, don't you?
I hope not.
I hope not. No, you hope not. I'm tired of dog man. The Bengals and the Rams weren't just the two best teams in NFL this year. They were also two of the biggest winners during the NFL honor ceremony last night, on a night where Aaron Rodgers was named NFL MVP for the second straight year. Both Super Bowl. Why don't the mayor talk to Aaron Rodgers since he said he owns the Bears? Shouldn't he be trying to build a new stadium? Punk. You know what? Screw this. Joe Burrow won Comeback Player of the Year. He beat out Dak Prescott. Cowboys linebacker Michael Parsons got Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he also became the first NFL player in the history of the NFL to win the award unanimously. As for Rodgers, he was voted Dog Man for the fourth time. Here's a look at the awards that were handed out on Thursday. Dog Man, Most Valuable Player. Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel from the Titans. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers, man. I'm sorry. AP Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp from the Rams. TJ Watt won Defensive Player of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jamar Chase. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Michael Parsons. Assistant Coach of the Year, Dan Quinn. Walter Payton Man of the Year, who gave a great speech, Andrew Whitworth from the Rams. The Hall of Fame class was named last night. Leroy Butler. I used to love watching Leroy Butler play. Bryant Young, another great player. Sam Mills. Cliff Branch. When I was a little kid, man, the Oakland Raiders, Cliff Branch, yes, sir. He was a monster. Grown man, Cliff Branch. Richard Seymour, Art McNally, Tony Baselli, and Dick Vermeil. The FedEx Air Player of the Year was Tom Brady of the Buccaneers, and the Ground Player of the Year was Jonathan Taylor from the Colts. And the Bridgestone Performance Play of the Year was Justin Tucker's 66-yard field goal, of which I somehow don't remember that happening.
They should make an award in Aaron Rodgers' name for the best quarterback every year that can't get out of the first round of the playoffs.
That's just called the playoffs. They already have it. It's called the playoffs. He's such a sucker. I'm just over it. I'm over all of it. If he wouldn't have won, the anti-vaxxers don't like me. That's why I didn't win MVP. Shut up. You won your award. Take your mustard-colored suit and scram. Can't stand him, man. He just makes me angry. Halftime show this weekend should be good, though. We've been talking about it. There's a lot of bets on the table about it, too.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Now, did you watch the press conference?
No, I did not.
Yesterday? So I watched it. I thought about putting a clip today, but I decided not to because it was not appropriate for on air.
Sweet.
But it was basically because it was Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, and Snoop Dogg that kind of did the press conference. And Snoop had made a joke about there won't be any wardrobe malfunctions, and then Dr. Dre went on to explain that he had to talk to Snoop and Eminem about, let's say, I want to be careful. He basically said he had to talk to them about not initiating some sort of wardrobe malfunction themselves from themselves, and then proceeded to say, especially Eminem. It was a really weird moment because it just it was like one of those things where he said it and it was like, why did he say that?
Why did you even say anything?
Why did you say that?
I would have probably thought he would have told Snoop and Eminem don't light up on stage.
Yeah, there was a couple jokes, a couple jabs about Snoop, smoking and all that.
I can promise you that ain't gonna happen. He will not do that.
No, not on stage. And then Dr. Dre also ended the press conference. They asked them each to describe what their show was going to be like, and he dropped the F-bomb. So that
now I would have been television. If I would have been a reporter at that press conference, I would have asked Dr. Dre, when is the Chronic 2 coming out that you've been promising for 20 years? Are you
Yeah.
ever gonna make it, or are you just not doing it? If you're not doing it, could you say so? Because he keeps going, I'm
Well,
gonna make the Chronic.
yeah,
What
because
is it?
they did do the Chronic 2001, which is also an amazing,
It is,
hip hop
but
album.
it is,
But
but
yeah, no, but he has been rumored to make a follow up to that series for a long, long time. And then he did do an album a couple years ago, but it wasn't. It was like a whole different thing. It was a little more of a, I don't know, a more. It wasn't like the classic Dr. Dre that I
right.
think most people would hope for.
I will say this forever. He is one of the greatest producers in
Oh
music
yeah,
history,
yeah,
easily, and his value to hip hop music, to rap music, can't be understated. And I know that halftime show is going to be interesting. If it's nothing else, people
yeah.
are watching to watch people do something wild. I don't think you're going to see any of that. And Mary J. Blige,
No.
first of all, is not going to embarrass herself. I think Snoop has enough going for him right now that he has just enough chance of doing something crazy and still being on television in every commercial. And
Yeah.
we'll see.
He kept it pretty professional. Like he talked about, like, when this is over, that he's gonna, hang out with his grandkids and stuff like that. So I mean, he's grown up a little bit.
He's a
Everybody
grown
knows
man.
who, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody knows who he is and what he's about. He's not
Yeah.
gonna do anything crazy.
Yeah. I think they will be smoking, but it'll be before they get out there. So that should be
Yeah.
interesting. Players got to come back through that tunnel after Snoop has used it. That should be fun.
Yeah, but they want to represent hip hop in the right light, because that was the main theme of what they talked about, is just that it's a shame that it's taken the NFL this long.
Yeah.
And they talked about, one of the reasons they wanted to have, Kendrick Lamar and Eminem and some of these other people involved, is to open doors for people in the future to have these kind of opportunities.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Jay-Z hop up on that stage. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
They, when asked if there was going to be any surprises, they said yes, but they weren't going to talk about it. So there's something.
Watch.
There's going to be something. Yeah.
It's either Jay-Z or who else could
Tupac.
it be? No, please don't do the hologram of Tupac. Anything but that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that happened too. Or Ice Cube. You might see an NWA reunion, maybe.
That could be it. That could definitely be it.
That would be so. It would anger everybody. I'd love it. I can't wait. I'm excited. Kobe says I can't wait for it. Me neither. I am not as jazzed about the game as I am about however long that halftime show is going to be. Same. And if it's any good at all, then there's a good chance that some hip hop will be back. It's just a natural progression, though. I mean, who else are they going to get to play that thing? Right. Prince is dead. Michael Jackson is dead. Tupac is dead. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna like? I keep saying the Roots or the Foo Fighters and call it a day. Let them just do it every year.
I would love to see the Roots.
Oh, that would be so
just
good.
Because it would be all about the music. It wouldn't have to be all the pomp. I get that it's like a big thing, so I understand, what they're gearing towards. But it would be all about the music if it were the Roots. So
they remain my choice until they are not. I think the Roots should do it. I think if the Roots do it, it will go down as one of the great musical halftime shows ever. And like same with the Foo Fighters. Man, come on. That'd be awesome. The Flying Tomato flies no more, Gliss. This one hit me hard, man. I like Shaun White a lot. And he crashed out last night. He is still the man, though. Extreme sports like snowboard, halfpipe have become common denominator, or they have a common denominator, and it's failure. It's not always in the air and often inevitable. It is acceptable. It is part of the culture. To fall is natural. Screw-ups and big crashes prompt cheers, not boos. Tricks are practiced and botched hundreds of times before they are mastered, and even after they are mastered, they are botched again. On Friday morning in China, the greatest snowboarder in the history of the halfpipe took his final 3 runs down a 623-foot curvature with 22-foot-high walls and 68 feet of air between the man-made barriers. His final run was incomplete. Shaun White fell in the last go of his career. There is no medal this time, but there is a lot to reflect on after what was nearly the most controversial judging decision at a Winter Olympics in a long time. After rallying to win a gold in halfpipe at the 2018 Winter Olympics, White facilitated for years on whether he'd make one more run at glory. Snowboarding doesn't have the culture of swimming or track or many other Olympic disciplines that endear themselves to all time greats, pushing themselves to all time feats into the winters of their careers. Snowboarding is a thrill, but it's also chill. Competition in this sport usually doesn't breed contemptuous rivalries. White was sometimes exception to that, especially earlier in his life when he approached snowboarding as a more singular pursuit, sometimes alienating himself from his contemporaries. And there was a sexual harassment charge and other things. He was an amazing athlete, man. I've never snowboarded, but I can see it and see that it is not an easy thing to do, and he did it very well. And not to brush that sexual harassment charge to the side because that's horrible. I'm just speaking athletically. He was really good at his job, and he stuck his snowboard in the fake snow in China and said, "I'm out," and cried on NBC, and it was good television last night, I suppose. Basketball, it's coming, man. Are you ready for college basketball, Gliss? Are you prepared?
I'm getting ready. Yeah.
All right, the time is now. Michigan and Purdue last night. Purdue just beat on the University of Illinois. They have a really good team, but guess what? Michigan came in there and upset number 3 Purdue last night and blew them out. Just 2 days after reclaiming a share of the Big Ten lead with a 16-point win over number 13 Illinois, number 3 Purdue turned in a dud yesterday in an 82-58 loss to my man Jawar Howard and the Michigan Wolverines, who I don't like, but I love you. The outcome is a 6-game winning streak for the Boilermakers, 21-4, 10-4 in the Big Ten, and gives Michigan's NCAA tournament resume a much needed boost. Michigan needed that game bad, and it'll be good in the eyes of the voters when they do whatever it is that they do, which no one understands when they pick all these teams, and me and you argue about it in a couple of weeks. March Madness is coming. Get on board. So, you know what I like to do here is some fun facts, Bliss, because our sportsy sports is probably a little bit over early. This is going to be the hottest Super Bowl on record. Temperatures in the high 80s. Who wants that?
No one.
Right. That's not football weather. Whatever football weather is. I know what football weather is. It's cold. And it's going to be hot in Los Angeles. If you're going to the game or if you know somebody's going, tell them be easy.
Are they going to have the air conditioning on in there?
They don't have it. You know what? They don't have a. They've got
That's
holes
true.
On the side.
Yeah, it's almost like a carport type.
Yeah, it
thing.
looks like a carport.
Yeah,
they paid
like a 70, really fancy one.
70 for a really fancy car. So that should be interesting this weekend. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. I cannot lie. I'm excited about it. I think that the Bengals are going to win. We need to do that. I like the Bengals, and I like them by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Bengals will win too.
I like the Bengals.
Yeah, I think they're a good story. I don't really like the Rams very much.
I know.
I'm still a little bitter they beat the 49ers. But.
I don't blame you. I'd be too. I like Cincinnati. Shout out to Ohio. Go Cincinnati. Go Bengals. Bring that championship to Ohio. That will be awesome. People will lose it in Ohio. And Kobe. I almost called him Kirby. Kobe said, "Roll Tide, roll Tide, roll Tide." Sting sold his music catalog. Man, did you know that?
I did not know that.
He sold his entire songwriting back catalog, including his solo stuff and material by the Police, to the Universal Music Group for $300 million. Disney Plus is closing. That's a lot of money. Disney Plus is closing in on Netflix and reaches 196.4 million streaming subscribers. It also sets a premiere date for Obi-Wan Kenobi of May 25th. Oh, that's my kid's birthday. Hey, man, if we had 196.4 million subscribers, all of our conversations change, right?
That's right.
Because, I'm dragging everybody with me. A new poll found more Americans saying they've streamed TV or movies in the past month than watching cable and satellite TV. West Side Story is going to stream on Disney Plus and HBO Max in March. And Finally, the Cincinnati Bengals aren't the favorites in Sunday's Super Bowl matchup against the Rams, but according to Twitter, America is rooting for Joe Burrow to win the team's first Lombardi trophy. Also, Snoop Dogg has purchased Death Row Records. How about that?
Full circle.
Man, life comes at you fast, buddy. When we come back, we'll have a story that will take you into your weekend. It's the weekend, baby, finally. You're watching The Drive on Backchannel.tv. We truly appreciate all our passengers joining us today, however you're seeing us, either through your Amazon-supported device or on YouTube or watching us on Backchannel.tv. We'll be back in a moment with more of The Drive. Dylan Helbig. Dylan Helbig, a second grader who lives in Idaho, wrote about a Christmas adventure on the pages of a red cover notebook and illustrated it with colored pencils. When he finished it in mid-December, he decided he wanted to share it with other people. So much, in fact, that he hatched a plan and waited for just the right moment to pull it off. Days later, during a visit to the Ada Community Library's Lake Hazel branch in Boise with his grandmother, he held the 81-page book to his chest and passed by the librarians. Then, unbeknown to his grandmother, Dylan slipped the book onto a children's picture bookshelf. Nobody saw him do it. Quote, "It was naughty-ish," close quote, Dylan 8 said of covertly depositing the book without permission, but the result, he added, is, quote, "pretty cool," close quote. The book, titled The Invention of Dylan Helberg's Christmas, spelled Chrissmis, is signed by Dylan himself. He later confessed to his mother, Susan Helbig, that he slid his book into the stacks and left it there undetected. But when they returned about 2 days later to the spot where he left the notebook, it was missing. Helbig called the library to ask whether anyone had found Dylan's notebook and to request that they please not throw it away. Branch manager Alex Hartman said he was surprised at Dylan's bold move. Quote, "It was a sneaky act," close quote, said Hartman, laughing, but Dylan's book, quote, "was far too obviously special an item for us to consider getting rid of it," close quote. Hartman and a few other co-workers had discovered and read Dylan's book, which describes his adventures putting an exploding star on his Christmas tree and being catapulted back to the first Thanksgiving and the North Pole. They found it very entertaining. Hartman read the book to his 6-year-old son, Cruzen, who giggled and said it was one of the funniest books he'd ever known. Dylan is a confident guy and a generous guy. He wanted to share the story, Hartman said. "I don't think it's a self-promotion thing. He just genuinely wanted other people to be able to enjoy his story. He's been a lifelong library user, so he knows how books are shared." The staff librarians who read Dylan's book agreed that as informal and unconventional as it was, the book met the selection criteria for the collection in that it was a high-quality story that was fun to read. So, Hartman asked Helbig for permission to tack a barcode onto the book and formally add it to the library's collection. Dylan's parents enthusiastically said yes, and the book is now part of the graphic novel section for kids, teens, and adults. The library even gave Dylan its first Houdini Award for Best Young Novelist, a category the library created for him named after the library's owl mascot. And Dylan's an adorable looking kid, too. Susan Helbig says she was tickled at the librarian's willingness to encourage her son and happy for Dylan that he actually got his book officially into the library for people to read. His imagination is just constantly going, and he's a little creative. He's a very creative little boy, said Helbig, 41, adding that he regularly entertains her and her husband, Alex. Quote, he just comes up with these amazing stories and adventures, and we just kind of follow along, close quote. And as luck would have it, the lone copy of the adventures of Dylan Helbig's Christmas has become a book in demand. KTVB, a station in Boise, reported on Dylan's book caper earlier this month, and since then, area residents have begun adding themselves to a waiting list to check it out. As of Saturday, there was a 55-person wait list. And though it doesn't take long to read the book, library patrons are allowed to hold on to books for up to 4 weeks. With a wait list that long, the library does not allow renewals. We hope that our borrowers keep in mind other people who would like to get their hands on the book, said Hartman, who said he heard from someone in Texas who hoped to get Dylan's book through an interlibrary loan. The answer was no. Usually, if a book has a long waiting list, the library will purchase additional copies, but that is not possible with this one-of-a-kind item. Hartman is talking with Dylan's mom about possibly creating an ebook version of the adventures of Dylan Helbig's Christmas to share. With all the attention, a local children's writer, Christiane Lane, has offered to lead a writing workshop with Dylan at the library, Hartman said. We're just hoping that children find inspiration to write their own stories and share those with other people, Hartman said. I just think it's a good demonstration to share with other kids. Dylan's mom said he might grow to be a writer. I also kind of think that he might become a librarian, Hartman added. We and libraries love stories and love to share them. Dylan shared some breaking news for his readers. He is working on a sequel to the Christmas book, which ends with a home visit from the Grinch and eventually revenge on the Christmas killjoy. In it, Dylan's dog, Rusty, will join the story. Dylan is writing a different book about a closet that eats up jackets. As word spread around Dylan's school, a cafeteria worker told him she can't wait to see his book. Some kids in his class have said that they too want to write stories. It's pretty neat to see how he's inspiring little minds, his mom, Susan, said. Shout out to my man, Dylan Helbig. Not to be confused with Dylan T. Pickles. Dylan Helbig is the man. Okay, we've been promising it. Can you please play this crazy person saying crazy things?
Yeah, here, let's
And hey, Kobe and Bailey and Damien. It's Damien's first time on the show. What's up? Yes, Ashley. Bengals all the way. I believe that. And it should be fun. Damien's in Nebraska. Bridges in New Jersey. We ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only do we have the DC jail, which is the DC gulag, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's gazpacho police spying on members of Congress, spying on the legislative work that we do, spying on our staff, and spying on American citizens that want to come talk to their representatives.
All right. Could you play that one more time? And
not only do we have the DC jail, which is the DC gulag, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's gazpacho police spying on members of Congress, spying on the legislative work that we do, spying on our staff, and spying on American citizens that want to come talk to their representatives.
The gazpacho police, not the Gestapo, but a soup, a cold soup. The woman said gazpacho.
It's so great.
A cold soup is spying on people with the gazpacho police.
Gazpacho police.
Man, when I heard that, I was like, there's no way that Marjorie Taylor Greene really is. She's a hologram. Can't be real. Can't be real. That just simply cannot be real. On this day in 19, and remember that all weekend, folks, the gazpacho police will come and get you. On this day in history, in 1995, the Space Shuttle Discovery lands at Cape Canaveral in Florida, ending a historic rendezvous mission with Russia's Mir space station. In 2001, Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh is torn down to clear the way for a new separate baseball and football stadium nearby. Al Jazeera broadcast in 2003 what was believed to be a new audio statement from Osama bin Laden urging Iraqis to carry out suicide attacks on Americans. Today's birthdays: Sarah Palin's 58, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, my guy, is 45, and Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child is 41 years old. Thriller by Michael Jackson and Hold Me Now by the Thompson Twins both entered the U.S. Top 40 chart in 1984, and in 1986, the Super Bowl Shuffle was number one. Gold record in 86. And in 1994, Bruce Springsteen's single "Streets of Philadelphia" is released. Great song. I love Bruce too. We got time? Nope. That's it. Hey man, it's Friday. I'm calling it. This. Thank you to everybody for watching the show. Gliss, have a good weekend. Have a safe flight and all that, and be careful, man. And we'll hold it down over the weekend. Let's talk one of these 3 days. Between now and Monday.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Looking forward to seeing you on Monday as well. And have a great weekend, and my best to everybody in your house, bro.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, sir. As the sun sets in Chicago, Illinois on this fine Friday evening, we'd like to thank you for watching Backchannel all this week. And on behalf of everyone at Backchannel.tv, you have a wonderful weekend yourself. To all the passengers on the drive today, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See you on Monday. Have a great, great weekend, everybody. Peace.